Welcome back, realvacantland.com. This is Luke Smith, and this is where you find the cheapest land in the market. We go send out a bunch of crazy offers, get people to sell their land to us, and we put it up for cheap. We put it up for nice and cheap so you can buy it from us and go do what you want to do with it. So we got this one. So take a look at this over here. This is a house up here on the hill. This house is a good example of what I think you could do with this property. This house has a bunch of nice big windows, and all these other ones behind me here, you know, I don't know if I can get out of the way or not, but a bunch of houses on the hill overlooking the lake. So this is kind of like a bold area, and people like to build on this hill overlooking Lake Cuyamaca. So Lake Cuyamaca is it's a little reservoir that's it's a pretty lake. It's a beautiful lake. It's kind of alpine-esque. It's higher elevation, the backside of San Diego. And so let's jump into it, take a look at this one, and see if you like it. So we're on realvacantland.com, and we got some pictures. I took some pictures. I've been out to this one. I didn't take this picture. This is like a street view, but it's kind of a weird one. But there's so Papagayo Trail comes out, and then there's two lots. We got two lots at the end of Papagayo Trail. This is from the highway looking back at the neighborhood. So this neighborhood stretches all these hills here, and you get a bunch of houses spread out through these hills overlooking the lake. The lake is behind me. I keep talking about the lake. I want to show you some pictures of the lake. Just started off with a picture of the lake, right? But you get these nice, cool golden hills this time of year. Okay, so here's the picture that was in the background. This might be a better view of it without me in the way. So a bunch of houses up here, like this one right over here. Those houses over there, they have a lot of windows, big windows. They remind me of growing up on Lake Michigan. I grew up on Lake Michigan, and the houses had big windows and decks overlooking the lake. And it's not very common in California. California seems to be more reserved, and they like to have their curtains closed and small windows and stuff. Maybe it's the weather, I don't know. But here, it's a lot more like where I grew up, big windows overlooking the lake. And so let's keep looking at these pictures. Here's the highway. Here's the lake down here. It's not a very good view of the lake, but it's hard to see it from that angle. So this is the approach. This is like the driveway coming up to the community. Again, big decks and windows looking at the lake. The lake is behind us. Here's a view of the lake from the lower elevation. So the other side of this lake is a good hiking hill. It goes up to, I can't remember the name of it. This big hiking hill. There's a lot of hiking trails in these mountains. And I've taken the kids hiking in these mountains numerous times. I used to take them in the stroller. I had, the New Zealand style off-road stroller. I used to push the kids up and down these mountains. You get there at like sun up and throw them in the stroller before they can complain. Start exploring nature. You get there'd be like clouds, fog coming off the ocean and stuff. We go pick some wildflowers. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a really beautiful area. That's why I took the kids out there like before the sun would get up to tour lots of these mountains. I've been on a lot of these trails in this area. So here's another view of the lake. There's some trees down here. We're still lower elevation, but you're seeing hills in the backside in the lake down here. As you get higher up the hill, you start seeing the lake a little bit better. So here's like where you would where the kids would catch the bus at the bottom of the hill. There's a shack there to wait for the bus. There's a parking here, but this road goes to the community. And so down here is the lake. So here's some more views of the lake from the community. As you start getting up the hill a little bit better, you can see the lake. And again, there's telecommunication boxes along these streets, so I'm guessing there's phone lines. There's probably DSL. You could probably get faster internet off of that. There are power lines stretched through the neighborhood, so you got power there. And there's water too. I've been talking to the water district. It's like $250 fee to change the water from one person to the next. I don't like that, but that's just part of the transaction. So here's some of the land. So we've got trees galore. This property is all staked out. So if you go there and look at it, it's the end of Papagayo Trail. I'll pull up some maps in a bit. But there's a whole bunch of stakes on the property, so you can walk around and see the stakes. You can see where the property is. There's a bunch of big trees, big oak trees. Here's a view of the lake from the property. It looks like you cut some branches, cut some trees, you get a better view. But you can see it without cutting anything right through the trees from there. That's just from standing there on the property. I wasn't climbing trees and taking pictures or anything. So this is a view off the back side of the property going out over the meadows and hills of the area there as well. This is just different trees and bush and stuff of the property. There's my dog. There's the stakes, more stakes. The dog loves to be in the picture. Can't take a picture without her jumping in there. And there's some trees. And this is the meadow that's out at the back of the property. This is what it looks like on the back side of the property. And so it goes from kind of this grasslandy meadows into the woods. So the property's like right at the woods line, right where the woods starts. So I think you could look out over the meadows if you built it right. And yes, there's water to the property. And I was asking the water company, so how much does it cost to hook up? You know, do they have the fees and do they have capacity? Yeah, they've got capacity, so they can hook up more houses, no problem there. And they're like, well, you hook it up. Like, what do you mean I hook it up? You don't have like the special person that hooks up? Nope, you hook it up, or you call a technician to hook it up. You gotta call a third party person to hook into the water district. They don't have anyone that does it. And they wouldn't recommend anyone either. It's like scratching my head. Usually they want to protect the water lines and have somebody that they know doing the connections, but they said you can do it yourself. So that's pretty nice. And this is the driveway that comes into the property. When I originally looked at this property, it didn't have a driveway. It was just this dirt cruddy thing that looked like it needed help. But since then, the neighbors or somebody put in a cul-de-sac under the driveway and they blacktopped it, and it's nice new looking good driveway back into the property. So whoever did that, I'm mighty grateful. And yes, there is fire hydrants to the property. If you're wondering about fire danger, there's fire hydrants there. And just more trees. Here's a neighbor shot. This is the land. I think this is probably the best building spot would be right in here. And that'd be your neighbor off to the, I think it'd be the south, maybe. I can't figure out the directions. So here's some views standing on the property, the lake. And yeah, I'm sure you could clip up some branches and get a better view of the lake. Some flowers and some more views of the lake through the trees. Different shots of the land. There's a good flat spot in there to build on. There's a shot of the neighbor. Here's like the driveway coming into the land, coming in and around. So here's the lake with water. You can see it through the trees. There's a tag. There's property line. Here's some old pictures, street view pictures, more pictures. You can go look at these pictures by going to the website, by going to the link in this video below. So go to the link in the description of this video, and it'll take you back to my website, and you can go study all these pictures, 100 pictures or something, from 2 or 3 different visits to the property. And I had a professional photo guy go take some pictures of it as well. So you got a bunch of pictures. Now originally I tried to sell 2 different lots. So it's 2 different lots. I thought I'd sell them separately. But I got some backlash, flack off of that. Realtors and different people shopping it were saying there's not enough room with one lot to fit a house and the septic system. I said, okay, I got 2 lots, so you probably got to buy both of them. So now I just package them together as 2 different lots, or 2 lots is in one sale. So you get 2 lots for $59,000, and that makes up about a half an acre. And that should be enough room to put a house and a septic system on there. Like if we look at this lot next door, it's about the same size. They've got a house and septic. The one just over behind it, I think they're just on one lot, and they got a house and septic on one lot. I might be mistaken. They might have the 2 lots. So you get 2 lots, and you can go for it. Here's a map. So I got an interactive map on ruralvacantland.com, one of each lot. And here's a cul-de-sac. This is Papagayo Trail. And if you look at the road, this is the old version of the road. They upgraded the road since here. It just redid the road really recently. So if we follow this down, it'll go down to the lake. So right here, this is the parking lot I was showing you with the bus stop for the kids to catch the bus to school. And then here's the park over here with a dock and beach access to the lake. I don't know if that's a boat launch here. There's a boat launch for this lake. Maybe this is a boat launch. No. I think there's a boat launch on the other side of the lake. But here you can go use the lake and have fun. So there's access to the lake just right down the street. You could like walk down there, ride your bike down there. And this is a reservoir, so you can see it's dammed up here, it's dammed up here. And over here is probably a boat launch. Yeah, this looks like a boat launch. Maybe. And here's a dock, you can rent boats and stuff. So maybe it's more of like boat rental than boat launch. Maybe you can't launch your boat here. Maybe you have to rent them. But I think you can go kayaking and stuff like that. Oh, there's a boat launch. That's a boat launch. I don't see anybody launching boats there, but there's a boat launch with a dock. And I don't know what the rules and regulations are and stuff, but there's picnic tables and things. So the boat launch is just the other side of the lake. And I've seen a bunch of pictures of people catching fish in that lake and hearing fishing reports. They stock the lake with trout a couple times a year, and there's catfish and bass and trout, and I think there's some panfish too, like some crappie, bluegill. So here's the two lots right here overlooking the lake. Just below it's a big house, with big windows and deck and stuff overlooking the lake. All, this is up above it. You look over them and look out at the lake, so you get better views than these guys down here looking at the lake. And there's just numerous houses. This whole hill, these are the properties on the hill looking the lake. Like these ones up here are probably the ones we were looking at in that picture. The first picture we started with. So there you go. How much is this? $59,000 for a half an acre in San Diego County overlooking Lake Cuyamaca. It's one of the cheapest ones around, and it's two lots. Theoretically, you could probably sell them off separately if you figure out the septic system, or just use them as one to go build a house on it and have fun with it. There's a pretty eccentric collection of houses in this neighborhood. It's not cookie cutter. It's very customized, do-it-yourself looking houses, and people seem to be doing it on their own, going for it. They got the drive. It's that kind of crowd in this area that's going for it, making it happen. So if you're that kind of person, this is probably a good place for you to go buy your own land, build your own house, and just have fun with it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is Luke Smith at ruralvacantland.com, and I'm going to say thank you again and hit the subscribe button to watch more of these videos. See you in the next one. Bye.